Yeah, I move Amendment 25. I will speak on both this amendment, Minister, and Amendment 27 at the same time, because both relate to the trade union representation on the board of the HEA, academic and non-academic respectively. The absence of specific reference to trade union throughout the bill has been addressed by a number of amendments at committee stage, which is very welcome indeed. Trade unions will now be represented on this body. However, I think it's important that they are represented on the board of the HEA as well as the governing bodies of the individual institutions. The inclusion of trade unions on the HEA governing authorities is welcome, but this bill sets up the HEA with new legislation. It seems the HEA should also have the same trade union representation.
Thank you, Ceann Corla, and to thank the deputies in relation to this, and to thank Deputy Conway-Walsh for the acknowledgement that we did move, I suppose, in relation to representation in relation to governing authorities. I know this was an issue that the TUI and others, I'm sure, pursued, and I would have engaged with them at their National Congress in Wexford a few weeks previously in relation to that. I'm not minded to accept these three amendments because, I suppose, to be blunt about it, the HEA board has to be a competency-based board, and that's not in any way to suggest that a trade union representative or somebody with a trade union background can't contribute to a competency-based board. Of course they can, but I believe in having a publicly advertised process where people apply to sit on the HEA. If we start, in relation to the HEA board, ring-fencing seats, I do think there's many sectors that we could all make a case for. I'm sure, why don't we make sure we have representations of people with a disability, people from underrepresented groups in higher education, perhaps the people who are able to talk about progressions and pathways between further education and higher education. So it is absolutely open to members from the Irish Congress of Trade Unions or other academic or non-academic staff members in higher education institutions to apply, and similarly for an Irish-speaking community representative to apply for membership of the HEA board once they, like any other citizen in this country, meet the competency requirements for membership of the board. And I do think that is a better way to approach putting in place a competency-based board, that there's a publicly advertised situation and the Minister of the day considers the balance of skills required on that board to achieve the necessary good governance and oversight that is required of board membership. Specifically in relation to the Irish language point, I think I made this point earlier, but it's worth making again. We did look at this and engage on this, and I think make some progress on this through earlier stages of this legislation, where it is now included in the competencies that a Minister of the day considers when appointing to someone rather to the board of the HEA, the promotion and use of the Irish language. So the sentence actually outlines that the Minister should appoint to the board persons who, in the opinion of the Minister, have sufficient experience or expertise relating to matters connected to education, teaching and learning, research, the promotion and use of the Irish language, organisation of financial governance, management, public administration or risk management. So in the list of competencies that a minister is expected to consider when deciding whether he or she wishes to appoint someone for a board, the promotion and use of the Irish language is now included, not implicitly but explicitly in that list.